YouTube, what's up? This is your favorite barber coming back at you with another video. And today, coming to the stage is my client, who is also my beloved nephew. And we are going to be doing a high taper fade on him. A little baby fro with a high taper fade. So the first thing I'm doing is I got my edgers out, and I'm starting at the where his ear connects to his head, going up to the top of the C cup, and I'm balding all of that out. Yep, balding all of that out. I didn't even bother combing his hair out just yet, but when I get to that part, I will comb his hair out. So I just immediately jumped in with my edgers and balding that part out from where his ear connects to his head to the top of the C cup. Now I got my Andis detachable blade clippers out, and I got the one guard on there, and I just went up about a finger's width, right over parallel to the other line that I just made. Actually, I probably could have, instead of using on his hair, that one guard right there, I probably could have put the 1A on, and it would have left a little more hair. And you know, it probably would have looked a little bit better. The haircut still came out good and fresh. You'll see at the end. But yeah, this is the 2 guard now. So I got the 2 guard on there, and I opened it all the way up, and I'm going to the top where his hairline is. That's kind of where I'm rocking the clippers out back towards me. You see I kind of do that little rock out motion. Now I put the 1.5 guard on, and now I'm just kind of debulking some more, just kind of softening up that area, getting it as close as I can to that line, that definite line that you see right there, so that I can eventually fade that out. And I'm just kind of playing with the lever, you know, opening it up and then closing it, as I do on all my fades. Now I put the 1 guard on there, got it open. Again, just kind of playing with it, softening up that area little by little, lightening it up so I can fade it on out. Then I'm playing with it with my thumb right there, just kind of closing it up. But yeah, definitely if I would have left that 1A on there at first instead of putting that 1 guard on there, and I'm kind of looking at it now, I think it would have looked a little bit better. But again, it still looks good, and you'll see the final cut at the end with some still photos as well. But yeah, I enjoy doing this haircut. This high taper fade, I think, is one of my favorite to do. I think it looks good, and the edge up looks good on it. This is actually what I do on Kenrich Williams, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He gets a high taper fade on the side. And so now what I'm doing is I opened up my blade on I took the guard off, the 1 guard off, opened up the blade all the way, and I'm using my comb, and I'm just doing clipper over comb, just kind of blending it out and showing you right there that I opened up the blade on the clippers. And I'm doing clipper over comb. And then right there behind his ear, I'm just kind of debulking. I'm tapering in that area that's real dark around his edge up behind his ear, so that you can actually see the edge up, and it kind of gives a little shape to it when you take out that excess hair that's hanging out over the hairline behind his ear. That's basically what I'm doing, just cutting that little hair off that's hanging out over the hairline, so that I can edge it up real nice and sharp and crisp. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to taper the back. If you notice, I did not start off with the balding clippers or my edgers this time. I'm just closing my blade on my clippers, my magic clips, and closing the blade all the way and starting off that way. I don't want to cause too much irritation on the back. A lot of times the back of the head is more sensitive, so if I can, sometimes I just do without the edgers, my detailers. So then I put the one guard on there, and I'm just going up again about a finger's width as I taper the back of the Afro. Now I got my two guard on there. I opened it all the way up, and if you can notice that I'm not going too high, not going above the ear. I'm actually going in the middle of the ear, in the middle of both ears, to where it's what's called the occipital bone. That's that little hook in the back of your head. And you don't want to go over that on your taper. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'll just open that two guard all the way up, and then I'm closing it and just debulking that area again in the back, just like I did on the sides. I'm just doing it to the back now. Stop before I got to the occipital bone or the hook. Now I put the 1.5 guard on there. I'm still debulking, kind of going down with the grain, taking some hair off. Going up against the grain, clipper blade all the way open. Then of course I'll play with the lever up there on the side. Sometimes I'll close it, sometimes I'll open it back up. I kind of push his head down a couple times just so that I can get a good look at what I'm cutting. Help me cut a little better on the back, on the taper. But yeah, this is a cool little cut that, you know, it came out, turned out pretty good. Now I'll put my one guard back on, open it all the way up. Now you see I'm kind of fading that line out. Close the blade. And then I'll probably do a little clipper over comb action. There you go, I got my guard off. Now I'm trying to knock out that first line that I put in there. I'll probably show you in a second here. That I close the blade all the way when I start to knock out that bottom line right there. And again, as I say in a lot of my videos, sometimes, you know, to fade out, you got to use those first 3 teeth of the blade, and that's kind of what I'm doing right there. So I might not use all the teeth on the blade, but just kind of angling my clipper so that I can use the first few teeth. Sometimes people have a habit of moving their head one way or another. They just feel more comfortable with their head in a certain position. So then as a barber, you have to reposition their head. A lot of times it's easier to reposition it just with your hands rather than, you know, verbal commands, because they may not understand what you're saying, where you want them to put their head. So you have to physically move their head to the side or down or up or whatever. Now I'm doing a clipper over the comb, just kind of making that transition into the fro real nice and neat, from dark to light, hitting the dark spots, taking care of the details. That's the name of my barbershop, Details. Barbershop by Peculiar, because details matter. That's my little slogan. Details matter. Now I'm picking the fro out. You're getting ready to see me do a little freehand action. No guard, but just from experience, just shaping up the fro. Freehand. There I am right there. No guard. Got the blade all the way closed. And what I'm doing right here is I am taking off all the hair that's hanging over the forehead and kind of making it a flat look or shape in the front there. Then I comb down the hairline And any other hair that was sticking out over the forehead, I took it off by going from side to side with the clipper. Then you saw me, I opened the clipper blade up and just kind of trimmed his mustache down with the grain. Real quick, didn't take me long. Just opened the blade up and went down with the grain on the mustache. Then I closed it, and then I went back up to the fro and started to shape the fro up. And I'm just kind of going for like a round look, just freehand. Like I said, I've been doing it for years, so I'm kind of used to cutting fros with the freehand. Combing it out a little bit as I go. If I see some areas in there that I didn't really get picked out quite good, I try to pick it out to its furthest potential. As far as the hair can go, can stretch. But sometimes the pick doesn't do that, so sometimes I have to take my small tooth comb as I cut and comb it out a little more, and then I cut that off, whatever sticks out, just to make it even. Now I put my one guard on there and I knock down his chin hair, little goatee, knock that down to a one guard with the grain. Real quick, doesn't take long. Now I'm getting ready to preparing his edge up. I'm spraying some Got To Be Glued spray on there. Just right on the hairline in the front. I didn't do it all the way around, just on the front. And I went back to my detail clippers. I want to get, those are my main edgers that I use for pretty much everybody. I want to get the high vis, the wall high vises though. I saw a barber on YouTube use those, and they look like they cut pretty sharp, so I want to get some of those. But these are the detailers that I've been using for quite a while now. I'm just bending his ear down so I can get around the ear. Keeping it kind of tight and close to the ear, not going too high, because I don't want to give him any white walls. Where he's bald all the way up high above his ear and looking funny and stuff. Then I just I'm edging up his sideburns, going down to the bottom of his ear. That's what I'm doing right there. And then I'm just making sure that's balded out and faded up pretty good right there at the bottom of that taper. And I'm just edging up the front of his sideburn in a kind of a long triangle shape. Now I'm getting ready to prepare to do his edge up. And so what I did to the edge up on the back of his head and the side, his sideburns, I'm gonna do to the other side. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. So now I'm just kind of combing his edge up in place, combing it down to its furthest extent. I don't want to push him back. Now I'm doing the sidebars first. I like to do the sidebars first on each side. Starting with the edge up top. I started in the middle, then I went to the left and kind of came back to the middle. And I'm combing the edge up down and down every time I cut to make sure I get all the little hair, so it can be as sharp and crisp as possible. And I forgot to mention the Got To Be Glued spray. What that does is it freezes the hairline so that the hair won't run away from you when you're trying to edge it up. In other words, it won't curl up on you and run away from the clipper when you're trying to edge it up. There was a little dark spot right there on the right side of his edge up, so I kind of just did a little quick clipper over comb there. That's what I was doing. And now I'm just edging up the other side of his edge up. Started from the middle, going to the right. Checking it over in the mirror. Making sure everything is looking pretty good. And this is the final cut without the enhancements. Before the enhancements, turned out pretty good. And for the sake of the video, for the sake of the haircut and the pictures and stuff, I'm gonna enhance it a little bit. And here is the final look. I thought it turned out pretty good. A little taper fro, high taper fro. Appreciate you all watching. See you next time.